Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here in Watford today with my old pal Jez Smith. How are you, mate?
I'm Phil. I'm very Phil.
That was not what I was expecting. Most people just go, yeah, mate, I'm sweet. How are you? Doing his best Usyk impression.
That's it.
Here today in Watford, like I said, 3 weeks it's been now since you fought Bradley Rea. Loads to talk about and sort of dissect from the fight. But just in terms of the fight itself and the response you must have had and the response it got online, although things didn't go your way that night, must be some sort of pleasure taken out of the fact that you were in such a good fight once again.
Yeah, look, everyone loved it. It was an exciting fight. Reflecting back on it now and looking back, I probably started a bit too slow, and obviously I think the knockdown didn't help me in the first round. The middle rounds, I thought, watching it back, I thought I won a lot of the middle rounds, and in the eighth, he had a very strong eighth. But look, it was an exciting fight all round. Everyone loved it. So, and like everyone says, as much as I lost there, obviously my stock keeps going up every time. Do you know what I mean? So people want to see me again, and you know what? Look, I took down, short notice again. I keep taking these on short notice. I took down 2 weeks notice or something like that. So it'd be nice to get a full camp sooner or later in these against these prospects, shall we say?
Yeah, it would be nice to see you, and fingers crossed at some point you get these full camp and we can see you sort of do what you're best at. Because like you said, taking it at short notice against someone like Brad, who there's a little bit of hype around, people are talking about that he can bang, and we saw he can hit hard. Taking it at short notice, there's always going to be sort of the uncertainty there of how you're going to perform, I suppose.
No, yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'd like a full-time camp to prepare. Obviously, I'm not always full-time pro. I've got to work as well. But recently, I've got now hopefully a few sponsors now where I can keep myself in the gym full-time. But it'd be nice just to get a full camp. Obviously, I'm one of them fighters where I'm high risk, low reward. Do you know what I mean? So they're not going to give me 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I've got to try and stay ready as much as I can all the time, which I am. I'm always in the gym. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, when you haven't got an actual opponent scheduled in, do you know what I mean? You can't really work towards that. So, but look, I'm just going to keep chipping away at the gym, and hopefully something comes up.
Just in terms of the fight and the way it was made, obviously social media is a bit of a blessing and a curse in it. There's some horrible stuff you can get online, but you and Brad, we saw the good side when it comes to boxing. I can't remember exactly how it started now, because it was, about 6 weeks ago, but it was essentially you replying to one of his tweets, wasn't it? He wanted to fight, you said your game, next thing you know, you two are fighting, and it turned out to be the best fight of the night. So realistically, the way Twitter was used there to make a fight like that was pretty good.
Listen, fights can be made easy, if you can get two men that actually generally want to fight. I know a lot of these fighters, or a lot of people say they will fight anyone and they'll fight this. We proved a fight can be made easy. Brad put a tweet, or Brad didn't have an opponent. I offered my services, said I'm game to fight. Let's make it happen. He said sound, and matter of hours, the fight was made. So, listen, where you see a lot of things, when you see sometimes on Twitter, you see people going backwards, forwards, things like that about, fight this and this, that, and the other. Fights can be made. It's if people actually want to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You see these back and forths, and they never really seem to get anywhere. But this was so direct, so straight, and obviously worked out to the benefit of you, Brad, and the fans as well. In terms of the fight, what you expected from Brad? I'll start with this question before we sort of dissect it a bit. What you expected from Brad, is that exactly what he bought, or was he different? Was he more powerful? What sort of did you expect, and what did you get, do you think?
No, exactly what he brought on the night, I expected, do you know what I mean? To be honest with you, I thought he would have come forward more than what he did, because I think at times I was pushing him back. He kept to his boxing, because I think he knew that I would be game and stand there and have a fight as well. I thought he'd be a bit more come forward, but I expected what he did, and like I said, I believe if I started a little bit far, I did start a bit slow. I've got nothing against the result, you know what I mean? Fair result, the knockdown probably cost me, but is what it is.
And in terms, obviously, the knockdown cost you points-wise with a 10-8 round, but in terms of having to suck up from a body shot like that, which was so powerful, and then still go on to win and dominate some of the middle rounds as well. Just how hard was that? Because when the body shot landed, everyone I was watching it with winced. So the fact that you sort of sucked it up and still dominated some of the middle rounds, how tough was that sort of period between like the first and the fourth?
Yeah, for sure. Do you know what it was though? It wasn't the actual shot that put me down. It wasn't that shot that winded me. He caught me with one before, and you could see me kind of went like that and like leant down, and as I was just getting my air, like as I just went to suck up, he caught me flush in the middle as well, which was a sickening shot. But after about, obviously it took the wind out of me and I went down. After about 4 or 5 seconds, I was quite recovered, to be fair. And obviously, with being in the gym and conditioning and things like that, do you know what I mean? Like, I felt fine. Like, I knew I would push it on. And obviously I had success in the second, third. And then obviously in the middle rounds, I was having success. So I think that was helping me, obviously, with even just recovering from the round one, you know what I mean?
You are one hard cunt, mate. You've got a reputation as someone that, and you use the words high risk, low reward. Like, you don't have a belt at the moment, so people are going to be like, why would you want to fight Jez? Yeah. You're sort of getting, not that you didn't have that reputation, but you're now sort of getting a reputation of someone who's just a bit of a cliche saying, but tough as old boots.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I love fighting, and I will always come and give the fans what they want. Do you know what I mean? And look, I'm not just one of them fighters where I'll just take any sort of fight. I believe that I can win these fights, and obviously it's not helping that I'm not getting enough notice on them. But my time will come. I will keep in the gym. I will keep working hard, and I'm going to be one of them fighters. I'm going to take losses. I'm going to get wins, but my time will come, and I will pick something up sooner or later.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's something for the future. Just quickly on the rest of the fight, Brad had sort of a swollen eye for some of the fight, which I suppose from a boxer's perspective, you see that and you're like, right, shit, I've got to jump on that. I've got to target that. His face was pretty swollen towards the end of the fight. I can imagine you were just sort of trying to target them sort of areas.
I think, to be honest with you, most of my opponents I always seem to come out all right. Like, it's one of them things. Like, I'm quite lucky that I don't really mark up that much. And yeah, he was marked up obviously quite a bit on both his eyes. And obviously, not even just Bradley Rea. When I boxed La Jaraga, like Kerman, his eye was like mashed up. I seem to come out all right all the time, but
hands made of concrete.
Yeah. But look, when you're in there, for me that night, I was just I knew I was getting confident with each round because I was pushing them back, and I felt that I had to push them back to try and win the rounds. Obviously, being away from home, like I obviously wasn't the home fighter. Do you know what I mean? I knew I had to keep the momentum up, but yeah, you don't really pay attention too much on like going for the same spot. I don't really. I was just trying to keep the momentum of pushing forward and trying to pick up some rounds.
Yeah. And the last round, just chaos. Like, I think Sky uploaded the round on its own because that last round was just nuts. Like, the arena was going mad. I was going mad at the TV. Back and forth, and yeah, just chaos that last round, really.
Yeah, for sure. Probably wasn't the best of rounds for me. He caught me with some fair play to me. He caught me with some cracking shots in that last round. I think a lot of people was like, I don't know how you stood up for it. Like, but then you could see even times where he hit me, I went back. I hit him, he went back. Yeah, it was just it was a great fight all round. Obviously, it was just unfortunate that I didn't get a decision, but like we said, we dust ourselves off. We've been back in the gym now. We're working, and yeah, see what's next.
Just one more thing on that. I think he said in one of his interviews with someone, I can't remember who, that he thought he was seconds away from stopping you in the 8th. Did you feel like if the fight would have gone on a touch longer, that would have been the case?
No, not at all. He can think that. Listen, yeah, I'm not going to say didn't he caught me with a crack few shots in the 8th round, and yeah, he did. He hit me, and at one point I thought, he hurt me. Like, but there was never in doubt that he was going to stop me. No, for me, he knew that that he needed it. Well, he wanted a big 8th as well. His trainer obviously told him he needed a big 8th. We obviously knew we needed a big 8th. He obviously come out on top on that. If there was more rounds and it was a 10-round fight, then I wouldn't have went out there loading up on shots, and I was winning. Like for me, I was winning the 5th, 6th, and the 7th round. So you don't know how it would have played out, but him saying he was seconds away from stopping me, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I didn't feel hurt at all. So I didn't feel like he would have got me out of there. Don't get me wrong, he hit me. I was hurt a little bit, but no.
All right, so what's next? We would love to see you in with Laraja again, a fight that I feel like not you just won, but a fight that you deserve as well. Everyone would love to see the rematch with Bradley Rea, but I can't imagine once he's won, he's going to want to go back and do that fight again. Sam Gilly's got a fight for the English title after a win the other night. Opportunities are there at super welter and middle. Talk to me, Jez.
Yeah, obviously I see the Sam Gilly's now fighting for the English title. A fight I would love. I wouldn't say no to. Obviously he's got to go and do his thing in 3 weeks' time. If he comes through that, I can't see why that fight can't be made. As long as he would want to fight me, I can't see why he wouldn't. But obviously, like I say, with all these fighters now, like I'm high risk, low reward because I don't bring anything to the table. They're thinking, why on earth do I want to go and fight Jez Smith? He's a handful. Because I am a handful. Like, I will give you a hard night's work. And if you don't turn up or don't step up your game or whatever, or if you give me full notice, I will beat you. It's as simple as that. So, listen, we'll see what happens with Sam Gilly. If he wants it, if he comes through his English title fight, I hope he does. Good luck to him. Hopefully that fight can be made. La Jaraga fight, you know what, I don't even know what to say about him. Like, listen, he's doing whatever he's got to do. I've called for the fight so many times. He don't want it, clearly. For one, probably, I know something to do. Maybe I'm not high enough in the rankings. So that's why I probably wouldn't get a shot against him because obviously he's European champion now.
So you would need like a big international win potentially to fight Herman, yeah? Yeah,
I think I need to push me up in the EBU rankings, which obviously I'm not high enough. So obviously he's doing his thing. The Bradley Rea, listen, I'm always, I wouldn't say no, everyone loved it that time. Why not put a belt on the line and do it over 10? But like, realistically, is he going to want to, he's got the win now. It was a hard night's work for him the other day. Why would he want to give me a 8-week camp and then fight me? It just wouldn't happen. But look, there is options on the table. We've got a few options for December, so hopefully in the next week or so, we can say a little bit more. And I'm always up for fighting anyone. If the offer's right, the money's right, and it works well for me, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, and opportunities can come out of nowhere. Like I said, with you and Brad, obviously it was made sort of because you two forced it to be made, if you will. But opportunities can literally come out of nowhere. Like last time I was here, we were recapping the Kerma fight and talking about wanting the rematch. This time we're recapping the Brad fight and talking about, you would fight Brad again. So, I don't know, opportunities can literally come out of nowhere. So, like you said, I suppose it is just about staying as ready as you can, because you could end up fighting on BT, Sky, DAZN in the next 2 months just out of nowhere.
Listen, I'm on them fight as well. Like, look, I'm not going to be, these big promoters are not going to be jumping to give me full camps, full notice. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't need to build me. They're looking after their fighters. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? They're going to look.
Do you think you have to try and get in with one of them then? Do you think, like, what would you have to do to get signed by Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Sky and Boxer?
Probably go and win it. Probably fight one of their fighters if there was a belt on the line, win it, and then it might not necessarily, it might open up something for them to maybe. If not, they're not gonna listen. I'm not one of them 6-0, 7-0 prospects where they're gonna want to build me. They don't, what do they do with me? I mean, they ain't gonna give me that opportunity to build me like that, which obviously I'd like to be, been able to go back a little bit and build back up. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to have to take these hard fights. I'm going to have to stay as ready as I can. Hopefully get a full notice on one of them, which would be nice. And go and beat one of their fighters and then see what it opens up for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just finally, I don't want to make it sound like you're at the end of your career, but just in terms of a question like this, aspirationally, is there anything that you are dead cert on trying to achieve from now till the day you hang up the gloves, be it fight somewhere, win a certain title, like a single perhaps aspiration, almost like a bucket list sort of thing, something you really want to tick off before your career ends?
Yeah, for me, I want to leave my boxing career winning a title. You know, even if it's a British title or something like that. You know, a British title would be amazing. I believe I'm good enough to. I just got to, like I said, I think my time will come. I got to keep chipping away at the moment. Listen, I'm not here to have a padded record like some people. I want to fight people. I want to be in exciting fights. I do believe I'm getting better every time. Every fight, every camp, I'm getting better. And my time will come. And I just got to stay with it. I just got to stick with it.
Jez, legend. Sweet.